The afternoon sun streamed through the elementary school windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Mrs. Higgins, a woman who seemed to blend into the background as easily as the faded wallpaper in the hallway, hummed a cheerful tune as she sorted books in the school library. Her attire was always practical. A simple, floral print dress, sensible shoes, and a cardigan sweater, even in warmer weather. Children adored Mrs. Higgins. She possessed a gentle demeanor and an endless supply of patience, always ready with a comforting word or a listening ear. Her smile, warm and genuine, could brighten even the gloomiest of days. Teachers appreciated her reliable assistance with everything from reading groups to classroom decorations. She was a fixture at Maplewood Elementary, a comforting presence everyone took for granted. Few suspected that beneath her unassuming exterior lay a secret, a hidden talent that would soon astound the entire school. To everyone, she was just Mrs. Higgins, the kind lady who baked cookies and helped with reading. As the school year neared its end, excitement bubbled in the air, all thanks to the annual Maplewood Elementary Talent Show. It was a cherished tradition, a night where students could showcase their diverse talents, from singing and dancing to juggling and magic tricks. However, behind the scenes, a wave of anxiety washed over Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis, the school's dedicated music teachers. This year, they had ambitiously chosen a challenging classical piece for the grand finale, hoping to elevate the show to new heights. But finding a student skilled enough to master the complex score proved to be a daunting task. Auditions had come and gone, leaving them disheartened. Many students possessed enthusiasm, but lacked the necessary technical skills and experience to tackle the intricate piece. Time was running out, and the pressure mounted as the talent show loomed closer. Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis desperately needed to find a musical prodigy hidden within the student body, or their grand finale would be anything but grand. The staff room, usually a haven of quiet chatter and coffee breaks, was filled with a palpable tension. Mr. Evans paced back and forth, running a hand through his already disheveled hair. Ms. Davis sat slumped at the table, staring blankly at a stack of sheet music. "I just don't know what we're going to do, Mark," Ms. Davis sighed, her voice laced with frustration. "That piece is far too complex for any of our students. We should have chosen something easier." "Easier wouldn't have had the same impact, Sarah," Mr. Evans countered, stopping his pacing. "We wanted something truly spectacular to end the show with a bang." Just then, the door creaked open, and Mrs. Higgins entered, carrying a plate covered with a brightly colored tea towel. "Good afternoon, everyone," she said cheerfully. "I baked some cookies. I thought you might need a little pick-me-up." She placed the plate on the table, her smile radiating warmth. Unbeknownst to her, she was walking into the middle of a musical crisis. "Trouble with the talent show?" Mrs. Higgins inquired gently, her eyes crinkling at the corners as she offered the plate of cookies. Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis gratefully accepted, the aroma of warm vanilla filling the air. "We're having a bit of a musical crisis, Mrs. Higgins," Mr. Evans admitted, taking a large bite of a cookie. "We chose a piece that's proving to be, well, a bit beyond our students' capabilities." Ms. Davis chimed in, "It's a beautiful piece, really. But the complexity, the speed, it requires a level of skill we haven't found yet." She gestured towards the stack of sheet music on the table. Mrs. Higgins glanced at the music, a flicker of recognition in her eyes. "Oh, that's quite a challenging piece," she commented mildly. After a moment of contemplation, she spoke hesitantly. "Well, I used to play a long time ago. Perhaps I could give it a try." The teachers exchanged surprised glances, completely unprepared for this unexpected offer. Mr. Evans chuckled softly. "Well, Mrs. Higgins, we appreciate the offer, but it really is quite demanding." He exchanged a knowing glance with Ms. Davis. They admired Mrs. Higgins' willingness, but they couldn't imagine she possessed the skill required. Still, desperation and a touch of amusement led them to accept. "All right, Mrs. Higgins," Ms. Davis said with a smile. "We'd love to hear you try. The piano in the music room is free now. No pressure at all, of course." Mrs. Higgins smiled back, a twinkle in her eye. "No pressure at all," she repeated, a hint of something unreadable in her voice. Mr. Evans carefully handed her the sheet music. The pages were filled with a dizzying array of notes, sharps, and flats. The tempo markings indicated a speed that seemed almost impossible. It was a piece designed to challenge even the most seasoned musicians, a true test of skill and dexterity. They watched as Mrs. Higgins took the music, her unassuming demeanor hiding a secret about to be revealed. The composition, a challenging etude by Chopin, was a whirlwind of musical complexity. Its opening bars cascaded with rapid arpeggios that demanded exceptional finger dexterity. The chords were dense and dissonant, requiring a deep understanding of harmony and voicing. Trills rippled like a mountain stream, and the melody soared with dramatic leaps and intricate ornamentation. The tempo marking, allegro agitato, urged the performer to play with a frantic energy, pushing the limits of both speed and precision. The piece was riddled with accidentals, sharps and flats that shifted the key and created unexpected harmonic twists. Measures of intricate counterpoint demanded that the pianist maintain multiple independent melodic lines simultaneously. Even seasoned concert pianists approached this etude with a mixture of awe and trepidation. It was a piece that separated the truly gifted from the merely proficient, a true test of virtuosity. The sheer technical demands, coupled with the need for profound musical expression, made it a formidable challenge for anyone brave enough to attempt it. Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis were certain only a prodigy could master it. Mrs. Higgins walked purposefully towards the grand piano that dominated the music room. Sunlight streamed through the large window, illuminating the polished ebony surface. She placed the sheet music carefully on the stand, her movements deliberate and precise. With a gentle whir, she adjusted the height of the piano bench, her back straight, her posture perfect. She closed her eyes for a moment, took a slow, deep breath, and let it out with a quiet sigh. Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis exchanged skeptical glances. Mr. Evans raised an eyebrow, a silent question passing between them. They both expected a hesitant, clumsy attempt, a few fumbled notes followed by an apologetic smile. They imagined a sweet, well-intentioned rendition, but far from the dazzling performance they needed. They braced themselves for a politely encouraging response, ready to thank Mrs. Higgins for her effort, however misguided it may be. Little did they know they were about to witness something truly extraordinary. Then her fingers touched the ivory keys. The music exploded into the room, a torrent of sound that defied expectations. The complex chords resonated with perfect clarity, each note perfectly weighted, creating a rich and vibrant harmony. The tempo was not just accurate. It was alive, pulsating with energy and passion. The intricate melodies soared and dipped, each phrase shaped with exquisite sensitivity. Mrs. Higgins' hands danced across the keyboard, a blur of motion that seemed almost impossible. Her fingers flew over the keys, effortlessly navigating the treacherous passages with astonishing speed and accuracy. There were no hesitations, no stumbles, no missed notes. The music flowed from her as naturally as breathing. The piano sang, its voice transformed by the touch of a master. The etude, once a daunting challenge, now became a breathtaking expression of beauty and virtuosity. It was magic, pure musical magic. Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis stood frozen, their jaws practically scraping the floor. The skeptical glances they had exchanged moments before were replaced with expressions of utter disbelief. Their eyes widened as they registered the sheer brilliance of Mrs. Higgins' performance. This wasn't just playing a little. This was the work of a seasoned virtuoso, a pianist of exceptional talent and training. The notes that had seemed so daunting on the page now flowed from Mrs. Higgins' fingers with effortless grace and power. They had expected a simple rendition, a well-meaning but ultimately flawed attempt. Instead, they were witnessing a masterpiece. I don't believe it," Mr. Evans stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. Ms. Davis simply shook her head, speechless. The transformation was astounding. The unassuming volunteer, the kind lady who brought cookies, was a musical phenomenon. They were witnessing a secret, hidden for years, suddenly revealed in a burst of breathtaking sound. A montage of images flashed through Mrs. Higgins' mind. Concert halls filled with adoring audiences. The thunderous applause after a particularly challenging performance. The countless hours of practice, honing her skills to perfection. Her name in bright lights above the marquee. Years ago, she had been known as Elena Petrova, a rising star in the world of classical music. She had toured the globe, playing with renowned orchestras and captivating audiences with her passionate interpretations. Critics hailed her as a prodigy, a force to be reckoned with. But then, life took an unexpected turn. She fell in love, married, and chose to prioritize raising her family over her demanding career. The concert halls were replaced with playgrounds, the applause with the laughter of her children. The piano sat silent for years, gathering dust in the corner of her living room. She never regretted her decision, but a part of her always yearned for the music, for the thrill of performance. That part of her was now awake, vibrant, and ready to sing again. Back in the present, the final notes of the Chopin etude faded into the air, leaving a palpable silence in the music room. Mrs. Higgins lifted her hands from the keyboard, a faint blush rising on her cheeks. She looked at Mr. Evans and Ms. Davis, a question in her eyes. The silence shattered as the two teachers erupted into thunderous applause. They leaped to their feet, their faces beaming with excitement and disbelief. "Bravo! Bravo!" Mr. Evans shouted, clapping his hands with unrestrained enthusiasm. Ms. Davis rushed forward, her eyes shining with admiration. "Mrs. Higgins, that was incredible, absolutely incredible. You're a genius." They were no longer seeing Mrs. Higgins, the unassuming volunteer. They were seeing Elena Petrova, the world-renowned concert pianist, a musical legend reborn in their humble music room. Their talent show crisis had been miraculously solved, and they had discovered a star in the most unexpected place. The possibilities seemed endless. "Mrs. Higgins, you absolutely have to perform at the talent show," Mr. Evans exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "It wouldn't just be helping us out, it would be an inspiration to the students. They need to see what's possible with dedication and passion." Ms. Davis nodded emphatically. "Imagine the impact you could have, showing them that even someone they see every day, someone ordinary, can possess such extraordinary talent. It would be life-changing." They painted a vivid picture of the students' faces lit up with wonder and excitement. They spoke of the power of music to transcend boundaries and ignite dreams. They emphasized the importance of role models and the lasting impression Mrs. Higgins could make on the young minds at Maplewood Elementary. It was more than just filling a slot in the talent show, it was about sharing a gift and inspiring a generation. They pleaded with her, their voices filled with genuine hope and conviction. Mrs. Higgins hesitated. The thought of stepping back into the spotlight, of exposing her hidden past, filled her with a mix of excitement and trepidation. It had been so long since she had performed, and the idea of facing an audience again, even a small one, was daunting. I don't know," she stammered, her voice laced with uncertainty. "It's been a very long time. I'm not sure I'm ready." But then she looked at the teachers' eager faces, their eyes shining with genuine hope. She thought of the children, their bright, inquisitive minds, their boundless potential. The image of their faces, inspired and uplifted by her performance, began to take shape in her mind. The desire to share her gift, to ignite a spark of passion in those young hearts, began to outweigh her hesitation. The thought of making a difference, of showing them that anything is possible, finally tipped the scales. "All right," she said softly, a warm smile spreading across her face. "I'll do it. For the children." The night of the talent show arrived, buzzing with anticipation. The school auditorium was transformed into a vibrant spectacle of lights and decorations. Proud parents filled the seats, their cameras poised to capture every moment of their children's performances. Backstage, Mrs. Higgins, dressed in a simple but elegant dress, felt a familiar flutter of nerves. She smoothed the fabric, took a deep breath, and reminded herself why she was doing this. When Mr. Evans announced her name, a ripple of curiosity spread through the audience. "And now, please welcome Mrs. Higgins, one of our wonderful school volunteers, who will be performing a piece on the piano." A smattering of polite applause greeted her as she walked onto the stage. The audience, mostly parents and students, knew her as the quiet, helpful lady who assisted in the library and baked cookies for the teachers. They were intrigued, but their expectations were low. What would Mrs. Higgins play? A simple tune? A children's song? They were about to be astonished. As Mrs. Higgins' fingers touched the keys, a hush fell over the auditorium. The first notes of the Chopin etude resonated through the space, filling it with a beauty and complexity that no one had anticipated. The intricate chords shimmered, the rapid arpeggios danced, and the soaring melody captivated the audience. The music was alive, pulsating with emotion and passion. It was as if Mrs. Higgins wasn't just playing the notes, she was pouring her heart and soul into every phrase. The initial curiosity of the audience quickly transformed into rapt attention. Jaws dropped, eyes widened, and whispers ceased. They were mesmerized by the sheer brilliance of the performance. The complex rhythms and harmonies, once intimidating on paper, now unfolded with effortless grace and power. The music transported them to another world, a world of beauty, passion, and limitless possibility. They forgot about the quiet volunteer, the baker of cookies. They were witnessing a true artist at work. The students were particularly mesmerized. They saw Mrs. Higgins almost every day, helping in the library, reading stories, and offering gentle smiles. She was a constant, comforting presence, someone they associated with kindness and stability. To see her now transformed into a powerful, passionate musician was a revelation. It shattered their preconceived notions of what it meant to be ordinary. If Mrs. Higgins, someone they knew so well, could possess such extraordinary talent, what possibilities lay hidden within themselves? Their eyes sparkled with newfound inspiration. They imagined themselves mastering challenging subjects, pursuing their own creative passions, and achieving goals they had never thought possible. Mrs. Higgins' performance wasn't just a musical triumph, it was a testament to the hidden potential within each and every one of them. She showed them that being kind and unassuming didn't mean you couldn't also be brilliant. It was a lesson they would never forget. As the final notes faded away, the auditorium erupted in thunderous applause. The audience leaped to their feet, giving Mrs. Higgins a standing ovation that seemed to go on forever. Cheers filled the air, mingling with whistles and shouts of bravo. The students, their faces beaming with excitement, rushed towards the stage, eager to congratulate Mrs. Higgins and share their newfound inspiration. They showered her with compliments, thanking her for showing them what was possible. "Mrs. Higgins, that was amazing," one student exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. "I want to learn to play the piano now." "You were so incredible," another student chimed in. "I'm going to try out for the school play." Mrs. Higgins smiled, her heart overflowing with joy. She had touched their lives in a profound way, igniting a spark of passion and possibility within them. Her performance had not only saved the talent show but had also inspired a generation to pursue their dreams with courage and conviction. Her simple act of kindness had blossomed into something truly extraordinary. The Maplewood Elementary talent show became the talk of the town. The local newspaper ran a front-page story about Mrs. Higgins' incredible performance, complete with a picture of her beaming smile. The story spread like wildfire, and soon everyone in the community knew about the quiet volunteer who had once been a world-renowned concert pianist. Mrs. Higgins became a local celebrity. People stopped her on the street to congratulate her, and children asked for her autograph. She was invited to perform at community events, and her story became an inspiration to people of all ages. But more than the fame, Mrs. Higgins cherished the impact she had made on the students at Maplewood Elementary. She inspired them to dream big, to pursue their passions, and to never underestimate their own potential. She showed them that talent can be found in the most unexpected places and that it's never too late to share your gifts with the world. She reminded the entire community that kindness and talent can coexist, creating a powerful force for good. Despite her newfound fame, Mrs. Higgins remained grounded and committed to her role at Maplewood Elementary. She continued to volunteer her time, sharing her love of music with the children and inspiring them to reach for their dreams. She started a small after-school piano club where students could learn the basics of music and discover their own hidden talents. She encouraged them to explore different genres, to express themselves through melody and harmony, and to find joy in the process of creating music. Mrs. Higgins' story became a living lesson for the students, a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of following your heart. She proved that talent can be found in the most unexpected places and that anyone, regardless of their background or circumstances, can achieve extraordinary things. And so, Mrs. Higgins, the kind, unassuming volunteer, continued to inspire generations of students at Maplewood Elementary, leaving behind a legacy of music, passion, and endless possibilities. She showed them that even the simplest person can hold within them a spark of greatness waiting to be ignited.